John 19:20. Touton un ton titlon paloi anegnosan ton Judaion. Hoti engus ein hotopos tes palaos hopu estaurothe ha Jesus. Kai ein gegramenon Hebraisti Chromaisti Hellenisti. So remember, right before this, Pilate had placed a sign on Jesus' cross that said, Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. And we read, so many of the Jews, there is a partitive genitive idea right there, of the Jews, many of the Jews read this sign. The word order is a little hard for us in English, isn't it? But we could just go with the word order here. So this sign, many read of the Jews, but many of the Jews read this sign. This word read, anagnoson, hopefully you recognize that is coming from anagnosko. Anagnosko. Gnosko means I know, and anagnosko means to read. You can sort of piece it apart etymologically there. Ana can mean again. And when you read something, you know it again, don't you? But we don't want to engage in the etymological fallacy, but that might help you remember what it means. So anagnosko means to read. And remember, gnosko has a second aorist. Egenon would be I knew, and here the third person plural, they knew, but with the ana prefix, so they read. Many of the Jews read this sign because the place was near to the city, and goose is frequently followed by the genitive of what one is near to. The place was near to the city where Jesus was crucified. Notice how we have an augment, we have a theta, bam! It's going to be aorist, passive, indicative, third singular to match the third singular subject. And it was inscribed, or it was written, that gegramenon is going to be a periphrastic use of the participle, which basically just means a form of me plus the participle. The participle here, you see the reduplication, you see the min morpheme. This is a perfect passive participle. It is nominative, neuter, singular. And it was inscribed, and it was written in Aramaic, in Roman, or we might say in Latin, in Greek. Notice that staccato pattern. In Aramaic, in Latin, in Greek.